All will get a quick message. So, oh, here's more. Hold on. Before I do all the thing, let me let them all in real quick. That's what happens. Okay, well, welcome to our first Lunch and Learn of the new Mary Kay year. And if you're new, my name is Jennifer Enlow. We kind of just impromptu put these together, and it's been, gosh, I don't know, 2, 3 years now. I don't know, maybe just 2 years it's been going on that we made it public. And I just love that everyone is sharing this with all their power partners or unit team members, all that. This is literally for anybody from just signed your agreement, the ink is still wet, all the way up to national. And so I love this forum because no matter what division you are, no matter where you are in business, anyone can be part of this. And I just am so excited to have you all on here. And first, I'm going to say, if you're new, there's a Facebook group called Lunch and Learns. It has a picture of Mary Kay Ash, like from a magazine. Hold on, I'm going to shut my door. My daughter's being loud. Apparently, we're throwing a fit about having to do some dishes. So we're going to go ahead and shut that door. We're going to slam things a little loud because you got to do some dishes today. Ah, gotta love it, right? Those hormones are strong. Those hormones are strong. Okay, so there's a Lunch and Learn Facebook group. Now, it does not go back to the very beginning when we started these because I finally got talked into a Facebook group like 10 months ago. So, however you learned about this is probably where you'll find the recordings, what I'm telling you. YouTube, they're all on YouTube because a lot of us have friends or people that are on social media. It's just my name, literally just Jennifer Enlow. Hop on there. All these will be on here. We're going to continue them this year. A lot of people are like, are you going to still do them? I'm like, I am going to do them because there's such a huge demand because people are figuring this out. So anybody can see this. I know a lot of people get them translated. They're even going to other countries. So that's crazy, right? I love that concept. I love women support women. So this is a safe place, just women of like minds. And every month we have a powerhouse lineup. And so I just want you to be so grateful for the ladies and our speakers and trainers that are taking their time to do this. Some of them are not in our same division, right? They have nothing financially to gain from this other than just pure love and go give spirit that Mary Kay asked us to do. So your speakers and trainers that are ever on here, always I just ask everyone, send them cards, love on them, send them praises, whatever, because this really is their time that they're giving up. And we know how valuable that is. And we, this week, have the fabulous Tracy Craven. And I'm so excited to have her. I've heard great things about her. We have not been able to meet face to face yet, but we're going to, because that's the other thing I love about this is then I meet new friends and we get to see each other where we go, right? So she's phenomenal. She is a powerhouse. She is the real deal. And Tracy, I just want to thank you for pouring into so many women, taking your time to give back to the Mary Kay world, because some of these women might not have a director that they're aware of, or might not have a national or go give. And this is so go give of you to do this for so many women. And I know people watch this recording later and like now 5 more people trying to get it. It's just going to be, don't worry, girls. If you have people hopping on, you're reminded, I'm going to work the back office while Tracy gives you her time and I'm trains. And Tracy, you're the real deal, friend. And I just deeply, deeply appreciate you for taking your time to do this for us today. Thank you so much. And I'm going to mute out and I'm going to run the recording and all of that. And Tracy, do you mind if I spotlight you?
Oh, that's fine. Can you hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure. So
Are you having a hard time hearing us?
I am super excited. Everybody good? We're good?
You're good, girl.
Awesome, awesome. Well, if you don't know me, I'm going to introduce myself in here in just a second. But first, I just want to welcome everybody to our first Lunch and Learn of the 2024-25 seminar year. And I have never been more excited for a do-over than I was on July 1st. You see, this past year, y'all, was like past year and a half, really, I always say it's one for the books. Like I could really write a book. So before I say any more, if you don't mind, I'd like to open us up in prayer. Okay. So God, it's me again. Thank you so much for this opportunity today to talk and pour into these ladies that are hearing this today. Only you could get me to this point, and I pray that today that not only my story inspires another person, but I pray that they hear that you and only you are the one that gets the glory for all the experiences that I've had. Lord, bless each of these ladies, expand their territories, expand their confidence, and show them how you want to use them to make a difference in this world with their Mary Kay business. In your precious name I pray. Amen. Okay, ladies. Well, I'm not sure who knows me and who doesn't, so I want to introduce myself. My name's Tracy Craven. I live in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm married to my husband, Chad, and at the end of this month, we'll be married 13 years. Literally, I'm leaving on our 13-year anniversary for seminar, and he's unable to go this year. All right, so we are a blended family. I have two girls, ages 30 and 26, and his boys are ages 27, 25, and 22. And they're single and ready to mingle. Okay, they're amazing. So we have 8 amazing grandchildren, ages 12 all the way down to the last 2, which are 3 years old. I started my Mary Kay business for the second time around in November of 2012. At that time, I'd gone to work working full time in a salon and spa. I am a trained hairstylist and esthetician. I'm actually at my studio now because I do have facial appointments later. So I do work my Mary Kay as a sales director, and I have do services. And so a lot of people didn't know this. I had just had a miscarriage 2 weeks prior from a very unplanned pregnancy. My husband and I were not trying to be the Brady Bunch, okay? My oldest daughter announced she was getting married in just 3.5 months to her middle school boyfriend, and they are still together today and have 3 of those 8 grandchildren. My other 4 children were competitive travel all-star cheerleaders, and no one knew that we were facing foreclosure on our home, had over $60,000 in credit card debt. Okay, so you can just maybe understand that I have a very hard time when I hear people say, I'm too busy, or I don't have the money to get started. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Okay, but in all honesty, what I found is that they're not wrong. They are busy, okay? They just don't have a reason why big enough to start a Mary Kay business, or they don't have enough information, or the one that makes me the saddest, they don't have belief in themselves that they could do something like this and be successful. You see, lack of belief will steal so many of your dreams. I too did not know how I was going to do Mary Kay again with that crazy schedule I was living. But I called my consultant and told her I needed Mary Kay just to make money to pay for my daughter's wedding dress and to help pay for a wedding. That's it. I made sure she knew that I was going to quit after the wedding. And I told her, do not try and change my mind. She agreed, and that was the plan. The wedding came, called my director, and I said, girl, I'm done. Thank you so much for all your help. The next weekend, we were in Tennessee for a cheerleading competition, and I got in a car accident. Boom. I had no car. It totaled it. I didn't have one. What was I going to ever do? Y'all, it was my husband that said, you know that Mary Kay business? They allow you to earn cars, right? And I laughed and I said, I didn't come into Mary Kay for this. You know this. Besides, I already called my director and quit. And he said, well, you might want to call her and unquit because you need a car and we have no extra money for one. And you know our credit is shot. And I said, well, so I did. 9 weeks later, guys, I earned my first car and became a sales director in Mary Kay. What was happening? What, this was not the plan, all right? But what my husband knew is that I was making decent money, and he said if I stick with it, not only could I earn a car, but we could continue to work to get out of debt. During that time, my director decided she wanted to become a national sales director, and being who I am, I love helping other people meet their goals, okay? I love it. I thrive on that. You see, I didn't have a desire to move up or have an offspring director. I was happy just paying off our debt. But if someone needs my help, I'm in. I decided not only to get out of debt, but I made the commitment to my director to move up. She needed me to be an Equinox, and she asked me for an offspring director. And in Tracy's style, the last minute, the last day of the month, in June of 2014, we finished our Equinox and I debuted as a director. Woohoo! I was a charter member of the brand new K Driggers Believe National Area. I swear I'm not going to get emotional here. I love that I got to be part of something bigger than myself. I got to be part of someone else's dream and make a difference for them. Because of Kay, I was able to see myself in a position I never thought possible or even thought about. Okay, so probably like you guys, 1.5 years later, life had lifed. Y'all ever had life? Okay. My unit had fallen backwards to the point of missing monthly requirements to maintain my directorship. Okay, and now looking back, of course, or later looking back, I was able to realize that I didn't have a why. I didn't have a goal. I didn't did this for her, and now what? Now I'm getting out of debt now. I don't have to keep going. All right, so on January 1st, I had to make a decision that year: give up being a directorship or dig in and fix the issue. I went to Leadership 2016 and found my misplaced passion. To this day, the saying that Glory Mayfield Banks said that day rings true. You can have control or you can have growth, but you cannot have both. I laugh when I say that because if you'd have been there, what you would have seen is all my sister directors at one time turn and throw their ink pens and hit me in the chest. Okay, you had to know the moment. Okay, so and they were like, "Did you hear that? Did you hear that?" I'm like, "Yes, I got it." So obviously you can tell where the problem was. So a sister director and I made a commitment to each other. We would turn this ship around. I wrote her a $100 check and I committed to completing 100 full circle faces in 90 days by the end of March. And if I didn't, she could cash that check. That's all it took to realize that I work best when being held accountable. I was not about to give away $100 for free. The results of those 100 faces launched me to do another 100 right after that, and our unit earned the BMW in June of 2016. And before the BMW even came in, 3 months later, we had earned our Cadillac. At the end of the seminar year of 2017, we went on to earn our first unit club as a $500,000 unit. All of that from a $100 check and a $100 commitment to full circle faces over and over. Let me explain what full circle faces for me meant. It meant that at every appointment, I was to get referrals playing the name game. I was to get the next appointment by playing deal or no deal. I was to offer the business, get their interest on a scale of 1 to 4, and ask them to hold a 3-way call for my training. And then I was to do an individual close away from everyone else because it mattered. If I skipped just one of those steps, that face did not count for my 100 faces. So who are you willing to write a $100 check to today? Commit to 100 faces by the end of September and change the trajectory of your business in your seminar year. Because of that momentum that continued in 2019, we earned our very first top director trip to Hawaii, where I surprised my husband with a photo shoot, wearing the wedding dress I never got to wear back in 2011. You see, we had to cancel our wedding ceremony last minute due to some things in our family. So I have a little book that I had made, and these are pictures from Hawaii, all right, that I hired a photographer. He had no clue. I snuck the wedding dress that, by the way, did not fit. Okay, no, just everybody's wondering, she fit all them years later? Nope, sure didn't. And I snuck out and gave my husband the first look. Okay, it's everything that I envisioned. My husband had no clue. The girls on the trip knew. They were all involved. It was hilarious. You had to be there. Okay, but let me tell you, it's what I thought about every single day and focused on to keep me motivated. Every no-show, every no, every consultant that quit, it was all worth it because my vision was clear. The why was clear. Like I knew what I wanted, okay? The next few years would prove to be a lot of ups and downs in my personal life and in my business. I battled with believing that I deserved that top trip. If you don't know what imposter syndrome is, look it up. It's a real thing. No one knew I'd been battling my own mental health battles. Little did I know the world was about to crumble. The virus hit us in 2020. My mental health issues got worse, and then it got even worse. You see, my husband is a veteran. He suffers from severe PTSD. And in June of 2020, my husband almost became one of the 22 veterans that take their lives every day. I'll never forget that day. He became my focus. My business fell further down, and I started struggling. You see, I'm a competitive achiever. It's my number 1 and number 2 strength. Okay, I wanted to win in my business, but clearly could not have both because I didn't have a handle on my emotional management. Then that year in November, my national made the decision that was best for her family to retire a little bit early. What a blessing she had to do that for her family. However, for me, I felt like my life was falling apart even more. I also felt alone. I felt hurt. I needed her. Didn't she know I needed her? I cannot do this without her. I would love to tell you I grasped reality, shook it off, and kept going, but that would be a lie. 2023 unfortunately got worse and never got better. I lost all control. I could not make good decisions in my life. Y'all, don't worry, the story gets better, okay? I'm grasping at everything shiny, trying to find my way, My husband then again felt it was better off not being here on earth, and he attempted to take his life again. I remember screaming, God, make it stop. A few weeks later, I didn't want to, but I went to seminar last year in 2023. I could not be present mentally. Any of my girls that were with me that knew me, they knew something was wrong. I was worried about my husband, and things were just feeling like they were getting worse. I come home, while I was there, I put on that fake smile that I can do so well, and I pushed on through. And 2 weeks later, after seminar, I come home and my husband lost his job. This obviously caused more depression, and we faced the reality that we had no income, and my Mary Kay business had not been doing well enough to provide. Well, I had only one thing to do. It's the thing that I knew to do. 100 faces, of course. We had bills to pay, and no one's gonna pay them for us. I'd love to tell you that 100 faces worked the way that it did last time, but it didn't. This time, there was a different lesson to be learned. I looked at my date book and I removed anything that did not get me a new face. This meant no family birthday parties, no weddings, no friend hanging out, no anything. I knew I had to do the one thing, and that was the faces. I pulled away from my director meetings and sister directors. Now, I don't recommend that, but it's where I was. I was battling with feeling like I was a burden to them because they would ask me, how are you doing? And it's like I was reliving it because I was talking about it. They said I was not a bother, but my mind was telling me I was. I know they didn't understand, and they even told me it's not good for you to pull away, don't do it. But I had made the decision that I had to be alone because I realized I was not making good decisions for my unit, and I was confusing them. I was constantly changing things, looking for the secret and things like that. And basically, like I like to tell them now, I was in the ditch, or I'd made a wrong turn in a bad neighborhood and didn't know how to get out. My mind was messed up, okay? There was no massive turnaround on my business from those faces, but I learned some valuable lessons that I want to share with you. But before I do, here's some good news. My husband, he did finally find another job in March of this year. He's happier than I ever thought I'd see him in a job. And now looking back, he admits how miserable he was in his last job. And he was just afraid to tell me that he was unhappy and that he wanted to quit. And God knew he wouldn't quit on his own, and I would never tell him to quit because of our finances. But you know what God did? He said, let me show you two something, okay? So I want to share with you 7 lessons I learned through all of that stuff and getting back to 100 faces in 90 days. Number 1, I learned God's always in control and he knows what's best, even when it feels like you're going through total HE double hockey sticks right when you're in the middle of it. I can't tell you the amount of tears I cried in the shower. By the way, that's the only place I allowed myself to cry. And I mean really cry. You know that ugly cry that you cry out loud? The moaning, that's where I did it at. Y'all know, you don't know this, but back in January, Jennifer actually reached out to me and asked me to be a speaker for this Lunch and Learn. And I declined. I was still not in a good place. And I was still in my say no to everything stage. I remember thinking, she'll never ask me again. But look at God. It was all part of his plan to grow me to trust him more. Okay? I had to learn that it was okay. Number 2, I had to learn it was not okay to win. That was huge for me. I realized that I was afraid that people wouldn't like me if I wasn't doing good things. Like if I wasn't achieving, I thought maybe people wouldn't like me. This was all discovered during some counseling. It's all rooted from a childhood trauma that I was taught that you only get love if you are nice, you are good, and you do great things. You do great at everything you do. You got to win to get love, is what I'd been taught. That's another day, another story, but there is truth in that. Number 3, I had to learn that I could be alone and make decisions with the help of asking others' opinion first. Yep, I'd become that girl that was always asking people what they thought of my idea, and it had to stop. I had to learn to trust my ideas and my thoughts on my own again. Number 4, I already knew this, but I had to believe it because I had been hanging around people saying things like, no one's buying Mary Kay, it's too expensive, yada, yada, yada. But y'all, I'm a licensed esthetician. You better believe I've done my research. Our Mary Kay products are amazing and they sell themselves, but y'all, there's no secret. You have to let people try it at a pampering session, okay? It's what our entire business model is built on, okay? Plus, our products come with that 100% guarantee that no one else offers. So please be proud of our products and get out there and let people try it. Like I said, no shortcut. or I usually tell people, there's no Batman light or Mary Kay light that comes up over your house that says Mary Kay sold here. If someone says they're not making sales, my first question out of my mouth is automatically, how many women did you bless with a pampering this past week? All right. So number 5, you can make great money just selling Mary Kay. People purchase these products and you absolutely can make it enough to make your monthly bills. How do I know? Because my husband and I still have our home, we still have his truck, we still have his boat, we still have the lights on, and we ate since last year, okay? And everything came from my personal sales. It was my personal sales that kept everything going. I also knew this already, but I had to be reminded that the devil cannot read your mind. He can put thoughts in your head, okay? But he does not know what you think. The Bible tells us that death and life are in the power of your tongue. Everything that the devil knows about you, you told him. You may say things like, I'm depressed, I'm sick, I'm tired, she's on my nerves, my kids are driving me crazy, my husband did this, or worse yet, people are gossiping and talking about others. The devil's listening and he's collecting the ammo. You know that the enemy's prowling around seeking to see who he can devour, and you're over here giving them the rope to hang you with. Stop giving the devil the rope. Watch what you say about yourself. Talk positive. Write it down. Make a plan and follow through. And number 7, be aware that the devil is always trying to attack you and pull you out of the process that God is what he is trying to do with you. The devil will send people into your life to completely distract you and alter your perspective. We are called to love everybody, but we are not called to trust everybody. I'm not trying to be mean, okay? But what God uses for good, the devil will use people to destroy. Remember that high I was on back in 2019? The devil sent the big germs of 2020 to attack me. In 2021, he attacked my mental health, and I fought through. But when he couldn't get to me, he attacked my husband, the one thing that I was going to protect, okay? I'm still a little bitter about that, by the way, but I'm getting over it. All right, the devil used my husband to completely steal my confidence and take me off the path that God had already made clear. Maybe you're here today and you feel broken or crushed. Maybe you think it's done. You're saying things like, I'm done, I'm broken, it's time to give up. Maybe you feel like you can't take it anymore. No, stop and listen. In Jeremiah, it says that the jar he was making did not turn out as he had hoped, so he crushed it into a lump of clay and he started over. It is a new seminar year, and it is your chance just to start over. I want you to know that God will use us, but we have to be broken sometimes first. I'll tell you that I hope that you will do as I have. I picked up my broken pieces, my crushed mess, and I'm asking God to use me. I have let him know that I'm not going to take my foot off the pedal, that I am putting the pedal to the metal. God, I trust you, I love you, and I'm going to serve you. And even though it does not make sense and I'm still crushed, I know you're in control and I'm going to trust you. Maybe you're here today and you feel alone. Let me share that before God ever levels you up, he will separate you. I know that because it's what he did to me these past few years. Do me a favor, though, and stop calling it loneliness. You are not alone. You are just being separated, and there's 3 reasons why God has done this. Number 1, he wants to give you the tools necessary for the destiny that he has for you. Number 2, he wants you to clearly know his voice. You have been surrounded by so many voices that you can't even hear him anymore. You hear your coach, your director, your friend, your spouse, your mama, your daddy, okay? But you need to hear his voice so that he has to put you in a season where you can only hear him. And number 3, he separates you to make us unrecognizable to the people who only know us by our wounds. So I don't want to be known for the girl that had all the bad stuff going. So he separated me to get away from that so that I can be renewed. My Mary Kay sisters, my sisters in Christ, it's time to get up, stop being the victim in your own story, because it ain't paying the bills and there ain't getting you no extra money. The emotion, that emotional stuff is going to get you every time, like it did when all that stuff was going on in my life. But when I had no choice, after my husband lost his job, I took the E out of emotion and put that motion into action. I would love to sit here and tell you that I finished the 2024 seminar on top, but the truth is, I missed every single goal except one. You see, no unit club for my unit this year for the first time since 2016. No unit quota sharing or no quart of sharing for myself. No triple star to add to my triple star piece. But remember earlier when I told you that this product sales, I finished this seminar year with my highest quota sales ever because the products will make you money. The old Tracy would be defeated and be like, "You suck, girl." But the new Tracy knows that she has won in the game of life. My priorities were in order: God first, family second, and career third, but not 33rd. I still showed up every single day and did something in my business or took the next best step. I want to close with this, and I hope that I've given you some hope to keep going and not give up. I nor anyone else here or anyone around you can promise you sunshine and rainbows in life. Everything is not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. And there's a reason God has taken you through stuff in the past. It's the reason He's taking you through something now, or it's the reason why He'll take you through something in the future. It's our job just to trust and keep going so that you can see what God has planned. I know that I was not happy that I was called into battle, but I do know it was for a reason. I was called into battle because I am destined to win. If the devil wants a fight is what he's going to get. But let me promise you this: when it's all over and done and said, me and God will still be standing strong. I've been in a place where I felt like I couldn't take any more, and I refuse to say out loud that I can't take any more. Because if I say that, it's like slapping Jesus right in the face, and that His blood shed and Him hanging on that cross was not worth it. You see, it was worth it, and it did work. I can take anything that the devil dishes out, and you can too. Now, ladies, let's stop our whining, get out of our pity party, pick yourself up, dust off those knees, get yourself a power outfit, pick out a new shade of lipstick, and tell the devil that you have declared war against him and he is not about to win. I don't know where this seminar year will end for you or for me, but I know right now it is the beginning of a year and we are not dead. So clearly God has great things He's going to do through you and through me. Let's make it a great year. It's time to rise and shine in 2025. Thank you guys so much for having me here, and I hope that I blessed at least just one of you. God bless.
Tracy, that was incredible. Incredible. And of course, I would have asked you to do it again, friend. I don't know. I think you're my spirit person. I don't know how we haven't connected our souls yet, but
Because God wasn't ready.
I'm ready yet. But now very crazy stories, and we all have them, right? Just I love this so much. Thank you for being so real, so authentic, so raw, because everyone needs to hear this. Because even if they're not going through something like that themselves, they probably know somebody.
Right.
Because some years, girls, you can only appreciate the mountaintops when you've been through the valleys. So if you haven't been through the valleys and you're like, I always say I welcome them because I
Right.
know now when you overcome that, that's when you get all the things. So I'm going to read through here real quick and make sure I
Yeah,
did
so I wanted to read the comments because I had to keep my notes up because I had to stay focused.
say. It says referrals from name game. Oh, hold on, I lost it. Everyone's commenting. Sorry. Oh, beautiful messages. Three-way calls, individual calls. I think I'm missing something.
Referrals from the name game, deal or no deal. No, that's right. The three-way call, so sharing the business and then making sure I do an individual close one-on-one away from the group. That's it. Just four things. Because in that individual close, I get the date, I book the share call, and I make the sale.
Amazing.
Could you repeat that one more time? Just a little slower. Could you?
So my four things. So
Yes.
I always play the referral game, name game, nomination game, whatever you want to come up with. I call it I tell them they get to nominate a friend. I do deal or no deal. That's like the little envelopes with the free product in it. And they deal means they're booking class with at least 3 or 4 girlfriends that are not currently with us, or no deal is no, I'm good. I don't want to do that. And then I share the marketing and always ask them on a scale of 1 to 4 their level of interest. And then I always ask them if they'd be willing to help me with my training or train my team, whatever, by doing a 3-way call and asking questions. And then I always do an individual consultation away from the group. And in that individual consultation, I start with booking their next appointment first. Then I book their share call. Then I close the sale. And I know people
Oh,
are
I
like,
love that. I love that order.
I do, because they're thinking you're going to try and sell them, so it throws them off. That's the
I
mindset.
love that.
Yeah.
I do. I'm like, oh my gosh. And when you said at the end, which I just loved your story, this is just absolutely fantastic. When you said rise and shine, what popped in my head, and no, I don't remember how the song goes. I'll think of it later. Glory, glory, rise and shine,
and give God the glory,
glory, glory. Yeah, that's it. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to put that on my phone and everything else. And yeah, because it just like so tied in. I'm just so pleased that you were able to do this for us and that you took the time, and thank you so much for sharing this. You have no idea how much this meant.
Awesome. I just want to give hope, because I mean, I love a good comeback story, and my story's not done yet, but as of right now, I wanted someone to know that whatever you're going through, don't give up, no matter how bad it looks. I mean, I couldn't tell y'all all the pieces, obviously, but just know that it's a work in progress, and just know I'm recognizing that I get through things faster, like I'm emotionally handling things faster when they hit me now. But I had to go through all that to learn how to handle that emotion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, ladies, I'm so grateful you were all on, and keep coming back. We have one more. We only have 2 lunch and learns this month, but it's just because, seminars and all the fun stuff, right? I hope you're having a great start to your year. Tracy, thank you again for your message and your training and your time and your heart and rawness. And I think we all needed that more than you'll ever know. And so,
I see that there's some questions. Y'all are more than welcome to find me on Facebook, message me, or Voxer or whatever. I'll be glad to share anything that I have. That's fine. I'm always willing to share, because I wouldn't be where I am if somebody didn't share with me.
absolutely. And in our company, so amazing. Our community, our tribe, just to be together and be there for each other in the good and the bad and the ugly, right?
Yes.
Thank you, ladies, so much. I hope you have an amazing Thursday. And some of you, I hope I get to see it. I'm going to meet so many new people at Seminar. I just know I am this year because of these lunch and learns, seeing new faces. But I love y'all. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you so much.